What's up, everybody? It's Tuesday night, 8 o'clock p.m., so you know what time it is. It is time for
HauntScene.
HauntScene Live. So on the show tonight, we're going to talk about three things. We're really starting to pack it in here towards the end of the haunt season, so we want to make sure we get these things in. As a matter of fact, our next weekend looks a little crazy. So
It's going to be crazy, too.
yeah. So, how's everybody doing? Hello. Make sure you guys put stuff in the chat. I'm Johnny Bronto, your host, as always. With me, I've got the lovely, the talented, the spiffy dress-wearing, tricycle riding, Melissa Lukac. So,
hello, everyone.
So,
Melissa here.
Awesome. So, I'm going to refresh this because the stream didn't catch, but let's take a look. Hopefully, you guys are seeing now. Let me go to live. There we go. It should be streaming. Oh, well, whatever. It should be broadcasting, I hope. So, awesome. Yeah. Okay, so on the show tonight, we got three things we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about Evil Dead, the musical, which was amazing. Now, I got a chance to do that. Unfortunately, Melissa was doing something else.
I was at a Halloween party.
It was a Halloween party as a purger.
Having fun scaring people around the party. So
yeah, I didn't get that picture in here. Oh, well. It's on our Instagram, so you guys can see it there if you follow us on Instagram.
And I was holding a doggy, but she wasn't scared of me.
True. There it is. Now it's kicking in. Perfect. Okay, and we're also going to talk about SCREAM-A-GEDDON. Now, SCREAM-A-GEDDON, we actually got a chance to go out and do last Thursday, so a week ago last Thursday. They brought us out for their media event, so that was a lot of fun. We didn't talk about it the weekend because we had something else we were doing, but we'll finally have a chance to talk about SCREAM-A-GEDDON, which was a lot of fun. And then finally, we're going to get a chance to talk about the Vault of Souls this weekend, which we just did last Saturday, and we were there for 3 hours. So, yeah, we'll talk about that. It was fun.
That was a lot of fun. That was definitely something different I've never experienced before.
Yeah.
So that was really cool.
Yeah, it's a lot different. I got a chance to do the original Vault of Souls, the open-ended version last year. I had a lot of fun. Was there for 4 hours. We hung out for a while for this one. So yeah, okay. All right, so let's get into it because we got a lot of stuff to talk about, and as much as I want to dally, I was looking dapper. I know we're gonna see pictures of that here in a bit. You get to see the HauntScene crew all dressed up, not in our gear for once.
Johnny looked dapper. Who is that?
I did. It was Ronnie Fox. All right, so let's talk about Evil Dead the musical. Now, unfortunately, Melissa was not able to join me with this one. She was out doing a Halloween party. I went. This was at the Moonlight Players Theater in Clermont. I kind of went on a whim. Like, I saw some pictures. I saw some other people had some pretty positive feedback. So I went and I saw this thing. As you know, if you follow the show, I'm a huge fan of Thanksgiving the musical. I love that raunchy musical, like when they make, like, you know, those musicals out of horror movies. I'm also a huge Evil Dead fan. I love Evil Dead. I love Army of Darkness. I've seen every episode of the show. I've seen Evil Dead 1 and 2. I own all of everything. So this was calling my name. Now, as you can see here at the bottom left, they do have some performances available. I did not get a chance to see if there's any tickets available, but Friday and Saturday this weekend, actually, it looks like this is it. Yeah, it's going to be this weekend, so get out there and do this. Do not miss this because this was probably one of the most fun things that I've done. Horror-wise this season. It was directed by Tad. That's right. Tad, thank you so much for letting me take some pictures here. It's hard to spoil Evil Dead the musical because it's based on the movies, so, you know, if you've seen the movies, you know what's going to happen here. But I had a really good time. Now, the first 3 rows of the Evil Dead the musical is considered the splash zone, so it's an upgraded ticket, and they give you a t-shirt like this that says, "I survived Evil Dead the musical." And this was, I'll give them a shout out, the Uncanny Comic Shop, wherever that is. I'm sure it's great. But they have the t-shirts here. Notice mine is bone dry and completely white, right? I still had a poncho from Universal that I had in my trunk, and I decided to use that to get some more, you know, value back out of the dollars that I spent. And let's see what happens. So if you go, prepared to get wet if you sit up close, but I do recommend that. So this is the story of a group of teenagers. You've heard this a million times. They go out to a cabin in the woods, which there's a song about that, which is amazing. I love this. Highly recommended. Go out and do it. Here's a couple pictures. Just to set the scene, just so you know what's going on. I love Jake. That
looks really cool.
I know, right? I love the moose.
I'm actually sad I missed that.
I know.
Really, I had to choose between my party or that.
You should have went to this and then the party.
I should have just went to that.
You missed it. The Evil Moose, which was amazing. Ash was amazing. The entire cast was amazing. Everybody was really, really good. It is raunchy as all hell. There are, other than the splash zone, which is like fake blood, you can plan on getting other bodily fluids flowing out into the audience. I'm not really going to spoil that for you, but enjoy. It was pretty crazy. Vulgar as all hell. It was just raunchy. It was crazy. A lot of fun. Actors did a really, really good job. I can't say enough about this. Everybody was really good. Here's me. Now, it's funny because I got through about maybe, I don't know, like 3/4 of this thing, maybe even farther than that. And I didn't hardly get any blood on me. Like, I had a couple spots here and there. And I actually had the thought, I'm like, I'm going to get out of this thing without getting soaked in blood. And if you jinx yourself. I know, right? If you look at the very, very bottom right here, these were the people I was sitting next to. And this is actually a picture that I took of them. No, I didn't ask them for permission or anything, but I took their picture just to kind of show you like how much blood you're getting on you. I barely had any on me at this point on my poncho. Well, sure enough, towards the finale of the show, I must have been in front of a liquid cannon blast of blood because I got in the face, just crazy, just soaked face, everything. I still have some fake blood on my hat, even though it was under the hood. My camera got wet. It was crazy and awesome. So I would highly recommend Evil Dead the Musical. Good times. Do not miss this. Tad did a great job. I would love to go through and put all the cast people in by name, but you were amazing. Plan on getting wet, sit in the scare zone, highly recommended. Here's a couple pictures that I took at the end with some of the various actors and actresses here in the show. It was pretty awesome. You can see I'm covered in fake blood at this point, just loving it here. So here are the characters in the show. Ash was great, loved him, loved the stereotypical, slut and sister character and girlfriend character and bromance character. It was amazing. Great photo ops at the end. Had a really, really good time. You can go right up on stage, take pictures. Very, very cool. And then there's this guy. And if you look on the right, there's a Ash right here that cosplays Ash, and then I'm not sure if it's his girlfriend or whoever, but another Evil Dead character. I think it's the one from the show. I can't remember her name, the Lucy Lawless character. I could be wrong. Anyways, when I walked into the Moonlight Players Theater in Clermont, I saw this guy first, and he's in full-on Ash, like Army of Darkness getup, chainsaw and everything. And I actually asked him, I'm like, hey, are you guys gonna do photo ops after the show? And he's like, no, I'm here to see the show. And he wasn't even in the show. He was just there to enjoy the show like I was. And when he did this pose here on the left, that's when I recognized him, that we had met them before at Spooky Empire. So it was really
that's
cool.
Cool.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
That was really neat. It was just when he did the pose, and I was like, I've seen you before. So that was really fun. Cool. HauntScene the musical.
We should make a musical. Man.
We should make a musical. So it was a lot of fun. The show's interactive. It was funny at some point in a very quiet part of the show, somebody sneezed, and one of the actresses said, "Bless you." You can say the lines along with them. I'm pretty sure this gentleman here knew all the lines, like the monologue about the gun, too, shop smart, shop S smart, and all that stuff. So it is really cool, and it only has this one weekend left. So make sure you guys go out and do that. Had a really, really great time. Thank you for letting me take pictures. I really enjoyed myself. This is probably one of the most favorite things that I did this season. So really, really cool. Check it, do it. Let me know if you go. I would love to try to do this again, but I don't know if we're going to have time, unfortunately. So, all right. So no, I did not dress up. I was in HauntScene gear. I was hanging out with Joey Fatone, apparently, because apparently I know him. All right, so Evil Dead the Musical, HauntScene approved. Go and see it. Awesome. Loved it. Had a good time. Good times. All right, so we're going to move on here. I could probably do an entire show on this, but we have 3 things to talk about, so I got to move on. And we are...
moving on.
Oh, it's too soon. It's always going to be too soon.
Too soon.
True.
Too soon. Like last year, too soon.
All right, so thank you guys for watching here. Let's move on to SCREAM-A-GEDDON. Now, SCREAM-A-GEDDON is in Dade City. Think of that like northwest Lakeland, North Tampa kind of area here. I've done this one every year. I did this one 2 years ago when they opened. Last year they invited us to the media event. We went and did that during Hurricane Matthew. And then finally I got to take Melissa out here. And we got some tickets that we're going to give away.
We got some tickets for you guys to win.
2 4-packs of tickets that you can win. But we'll give you the details on that in a bit. All right, so if you look at the bottom left here, here's their hours. Now they're unlike a lot of other haunts, they're actually open every day. So they're open Sunday through Saturday, so you guys can go. They do have peak pricing, so the busier nights are a little more expensive, even though I still think it's a pretty good deal. But if you're looking for something to do on an off night, maybe if you're not going to horror nights or something like that on like a Monday, Tuesday, or a Saturday or something like that, I think Scream-A-Geddon would be a really good alternative among the other amazing independent haunts that we have here in Central Florida. Oh, I didn't update the, I did not update the address there. Uh-oh, hold on one second.
Oh, that's not moonlightplayers.com.
I know, right? Hold on, this is SCREAM-A-GEDDON.com. Thankfully, this software allows me to edit this on the fly, so that's good. And then I know it's something St. Joe Road. Give me 1 second. Scream-A-Geddon. And I will put in the correct address there. I apologize, Scream-A-Geddon, if you're watching. But let me go in and get this stuff here.
We are very sorry for Johnny's mistake.
I know, right? I can't remember everything. There it is, right there. All right, so copy.
Okay. We got a million things going on. So.
Yeah. And hopefully this will let us paste it in there. Paste. Yes. All right, cool. Look at that. Updating things on the fly. ScreamAGeddon.com, 27839, St. Joe Road, Dade City. Go out to Scream-A-Geddon. Very, very awesome. We got all kinds of pictures
Ronnie
here.
said, in the middle of nowhere. It is literally
it feels like nowhere. Yeah, the longer you drive, the more you feel like you're going to die. Oh, you know what I did not do and I wanted to do? I wanted to take a picture of a raccoon. Because remember the raccoon that jumped out in front of us to try to kill us on the way home?
Yes, I remember
this
that.
This raccoon had like a death wish, and I had to swerve to miss it.
It just wanted to take us out before we got to the haunt. It wanted to stop us.
Yeah.
Like everything else this haunt.
Well, it
just wanted to stop us.
It was on the way home. It did not want to let us make it home.
On the way there. Was it on the way there?
No.
Oh,
but you know what was on the way there?
What?
Kumquat pie! Yes! For the 3rd year in a row. This is continuity on HauntScene. We went and I got some kumquat pie. There's a store, like a little party store, that is right on the corner of St. Joe Road where you can go and get kumquat products.
That was my first time trying kumquat pie. I've never had it before.
Did you enjoy eating the kumquat pie?
I enjoyed kumquat pie.
Yeah, it's kind of like citrusy.
It tasted like key lime pie.
Yeah, it's good.
So, yeah.
Now, I don't know why they have the kumquat pie sign facing inwards.
It's
you should
think
think
it
outwards,
so you can see it, but it was inside the store.
But they did have a thing on the window that said "No bikes on window." Remember that?
No bikes on window. Yeah, they clearly had that out, but not the kumquat pie. So I didn't.
So they need to align their get their but it's good. I mean, I guess Dade City's the kumquat capital of the world. They have a kumquat festival. They have all kinds of kumquat stuff going on there. Wow. So
kumquat everything.
Yeah, you can't go to, in my opinion, you can't go to Scream-A-Geddon without stopping and getting some sort of kumquat something. So if you go. I think almost no matter what way you go, you're going to pass the store that'll have some sort of kumquat thing. So had to talk about that. We went for the media thing. So Vanessa Evans, Tom Sal, thank you guys for walking us around and inviting us out to that. We've been invited to a bunch of stuff.
We have actually. It's been fun.
Yeah,
but this place is on the way to Scream-A-Geddon. So when you go to Scream-A-Geddon, just stop there in the way and grab some pie. It's really good.
Yeah, so, all right, so let's move on and get into Scream-A-Geddon.
That was fun. That was my first time doing Scream-A-Geddon, and I absolutely loved it. It was so much fun. It was something I've just never done before. It was a blast. It's
really cool. It's out of the way. I guess we affectionately call it a Scream Park. It's an enclosed area with many different little haunted events inside. It boasts six attractions. 4 of those are houses. One of those is a hayride, and then their midway carnival games, beer cooler thing is like their 6th attraction. Lots of characters running around. I think I do have a picture of one in here.
I took 2 videos of the ones coming out. Remember, they were coming out of one of the houses.
Oh yeah, that's right. They have like a little pep rally before they. The characters have like this little like pep rally before they go in.
And everything. Zombies are coming out.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. All right, so Scream-A-GEDDON's here. Definitely check it out. Parking is $10. Keep that in mind. But here in the bottom left, you see us with Vanessa and Tom, the gentleman who walked us through the tour. They gave us VIP fast passes. They did it a little differently this year, but there were a lot of people there for the media event. It was us and some other media outlets.
Yes, Giraffic Shark.
Yeah, Team Giraffic Shark was there. So Ty
yes,
and everybody, hello.
Giraffic Shark. Giving you guys a shout out.
You guys are
they were really
awesome.
cool.
Yeah,
they're
awesome.
really cool.
Yeah, we've run into them at a couple events, so they're really cool. So yeah.
Yeah, so
they're right for the scare factor.
Four houses and a hayride.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's if you take the dollar value here of the tickets and you divide it by like 5, that's kind of what you're looking at here. It's a pretty cost-effective event. It's not like conga lines. It's not like it's not like Horror Nights. They pulse the line. They give you your own little group when you go through. So it's a lot of fun.
Which I like pulsing the line.
Well, I
really do. I like that.
I guess at this point only Horror Nights is the one that's doing the conga lines, because even a Howl Scream, it seemed like we were getting little breaks in between.
Yeah, we get little pulses every now and then.
So might want to work on that. Yeah, no conga lines. All right, so here we are. We went out. It was a nice night, full moon, pretty cool, very nice. Let's talk about Bedlam 3D, which was the first house that they let us go through. Basically, the the media tour was everybody group up, everybody get in line in the fast pass line, and then meet up afterwards, ask some questions, and then move on to the next one. I gotta talk about Bedlam 3D here. I will admit. I did not have the best opinion of this house last year, and it was kind of funny because one of the characters in line, and I'll show them to you in a minute, actually remembered my review from last year and exactly what I said.
saw that, yeah.
So I think they took it personally, and I don't ever want to say like a haunt is bad or anything like that, but it just wasn't my favorite. And it wasn't the house. It was just 3D. I mean, everything was 3D last year. It was just
literally everything.
I was just 3D exhausted. So when I went through this time, I actually I didn't wear the glasses. So did you wear the glasses in this one?
I did. Actually, it did kind of work in this house because things were popping out at me. Actually,
yeah. The first room on the left
3D,
is the first room on the right is really cool.
Normally in the past, whenever I go through the 3D houses like an HHN or Hollow Scream, they really don't work that well, because they really don't pop out at you. But this one, there were parts in the houses where the 3D actually did pop out at you, which I thought it was pretty cool. So the room with the skeletons, so that was my favorite.
Yeah,
that was
really
pretty
cool.
That was pretty cool.
Well, yeah, it's like the first room you go in.
Yeah.
I think I've learned to appreciate 3D houses without the glasses. I do like the design of them. It's just I'm just over 3D. It doesn't really do anything for me.
I've never been a big fan of 3D anyway, so I've never really liked it.
So this is all neon. It's got some crazy like airbrushed facade. If you look at the very, very bottom right, here's this character that said something to me. So if you're watching, better job this year. Like I said, I'm kind of over 3D, but I enjoyed this house. I had fun.
Same.
I had more fun this year than I think I had last year. Last year I was just kind of over it, but that might have been the fact that it was like Hurricane Matthew and I was soaked already at this point. So, but I had a good time. So whoever you are, good job. You don't have to threaten me.
I gotta say though, I did enjoy this house, even though I'm not a big fan of 3D. I really did like it. It was probably one of my favorite 3D houses I've been through. So
yeah, it was.
I liked the color scheme outside. So
yeah,
that was pretty neat.
I feel like I'm walking into a rave. It's like a haunt rave.
Yeah.
Something. I don't know.
So
very, 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 very fun here. Next we did.
This was my favorite.
Next we did Blackpool Prison.
This was my favorite.
Which was.
Is that a picture of me? What is that?
Where?
On the right hand corner.
No.
Who is that?
It's just random.
Just random guys?
Yeah, I was so scared in this house I couldn't get a good picture. So so Blackpool Prison. Now this was, out of all of everything I did last year, this was probably one of the more terrifying things.
This was the first interactive house we did too.
Yeah, it was the interactive thing where if you wear a necklace, a glow necklace, you give the characters permission to touch you and redirect you and give you another level of interaction here. And they give a huge disclaimer here right outside of the sign right here when you go in. So you can either just go through the house normally, or you cannot be a wuss and you can wear the glow necklace.
Because Jennifer was asking me about that because she's looking to go. And yes, you do have the option to wear the glow necklace and interact with the characters, or if you don't want to, you don't have to.
Right.
So if you wear the glow necklace, you will be getting interacted with. If you don't wear it, they will not interact with you. So, but you do that.
Well, they might interact with you, but they're not going to touch you or move you.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You just walk through the house.
Like they won't touch you and grab you and remove you from them, because if you wear the necklace, they touch you, they grab you, they'll throw you into cells.
Yeah.
They'll remove you from the group, and you'll be by yourself at some point. But at one point, we did meet up with each other again, and then we were
we were kind of like getting back together, like here and there. You were so apprehensive about wearing the necklace.
I was. I'm gonna be honest. I was kind of terrified to wear the necklace.
So was I, and I'd already done it.
Because I didn't know what to expect. You like at the sign, you told me they're gonna touch you, they're gonna grab you, they're gonna remove you. I'm like, I didn't know how to take that.
Right.
But I decided to do it anyway. I didn't want to be a wuss, so I decided to do it anyway, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
It was probably one of the coolest experiences ever.
Yeah, it was really cool.
So it was really cool. They were, we went in and they took me away from Johnny. They put me in a chair. They put me in cells. They sat me in another chair. They put me in a box. So just swinging me around, like people in front of you, people talking to you. Just it was awesome.
Yes,
it was awesome.
Just like last year, I had people waving shivs or things in my face to give me free dental work or something like that. And
they threw me in a cell, and they shut the door, and they left me in there for a little bit with people in the cell, and the peoples in the cell would talk to you and interact with you and all that.
Yeah.
So I thought it was really cool.
Just imagine going through a prison riot,
yeah,
just as a haunt, and the characters, good job. This one is just scary. Everybody has their phobias. And then, I apparently I have something about being in a prison riot, because this one legitimately terrifies me.
It was pretty terrifying.
Yeah.
I gotta say that was pretty terrifying.
Yeah, it was good.
So, but it was good. My favorite house there at SCREAM-A-GEDDON. I love the prison.
Okay.
So.
All right. So Blackpool Prison. I'm gonna go ahead and say Blackpool Prison was my favorite too.
Yeah.
Yep. It's second year in a row. You guys are doing it right. Good job. Not that I didn't enjoy the other experiences, but if I had to pick one, this would be my favorite at SCREAM-A-GEDDON here. All right. So anything else about Blackpool Prison? Just good luck getting through there. I don't know if all the characters were told that we were all like media people, that we could take pictures, because I got yelled at a lot about having a camera and stuff, but whatever.
Yeah.
No, I did not drop any soap. Just saying.
There was a guy that told you don't drop the soap. Remember that? I heard you were in front of me, and I was behind.
Don't drop soap.
And the guy was like, "Don't drop the soap."
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, that was.
All right.
I mean, at first, it did seem terrifying to me. If you've never done that, it will sound terrifying to you. But once you do it, I guarantee you're gonna have fun with it. It was a lot of fun, because after I did it, I loved it.
Yeah, don't psych yourself out. Just do it.
It's really not that bad once you do it.
It's not. All right, so moving on to the next one that we did, and these might be out of order. We did.
No, that was the last one we did. Remember, we did the woods after.
That's right.
And then we did.
Well, the woods one's really easy to talk about. Let's actually do that one next. So Deadwoods, right?
Yeah.
So Deadwoods, you see this little black box on the right? That's actually a photo that I took. The only photo that I took in Deadwoods, and it was just darkness.
You basically just walked into the woods.
So dark. It is like we've done a lot of outdoor trails, like at Sir Henry's and Amish Descent this year. Deadwoods is the darkest of all of them. They have like little mini LED things, like guiding your path barely. There must be some sort of like hillbilly redneck cannibals in there.
Like prison dudes?
So,
I do like prison dudes.
I don't like prison dudes.
Prison dudes. They were kind of scary. Very terrifying prison dudes, but yes.
So Deadwoods don't really have any pictures of this one, but this house you go through, it's a trail. It's a big like horseshoe that you go through. Mm-hmm. There are different little shacks and scenes. They give you a glow stick. That's about all the light that you get in the whole thing.
That's all you get. Yeah.
So
and it doesn't even work that well. But they line the path with lights.
Yeah.
So you can see where you're going.
So it was
basically like redneck killers.
Basically. Yeah. It's just
like Polk County.
Whoa. I don't know, man. It could be. Maybe you take a wrong street in somewhere in Polk County, and you could end up in Deadwoods. So, solid. I don't want to say solid. Fun house, outdoor trail. Really, house, really dark. I'm not saying it's solid. Really dark. It is scary. It's scary because a lot of times when you look at something with lighting, you can almost tell sometimes where the scares are coming from. When it's this dark, you cannot tell. So people like hide behind trees in the ground, in ghillie suits. They got chainsaws, all kinds of stuff, and they're gonna get you. And I think this one, as far as jump scares goes, always gets me like crazy. Yeah. So this one's the one that makes me jump out of my skin. Pasco County. All right, Pasco County.
That's
County.
Right. That's where it is. That's where it is. Pasco County. Yeah. It wasn't Polk County. It was Pasco County.
Yeah, northwest. Yeah. All right, so Deadwoods was fun. A lot of fun. They got
me a lot out there too. Especially the ones in the ghillie suits.
Yeah, they're gonna get you because it's just so dark. You can't see them coming. But we had a lot of fun with that one. Let's move on to the next one. Oh, hello. There we go. All right, so slideshow, and then let's go back to Infected.
I like that one too. That was another interactive house. I like that one too.
So Infected was their new experience this year. I mean, I'm sure there were slight tweaks to Bedlam 3D, Deadwoods, and Blackpool, but Infected was like their change this year, and I think I did overhear that they're planning on doing a new house next year, or probably something to replace one of the houses, Bedlam 3D, and maybe we can. Maybe. I mean, that's kind of what I was hoping would happen last year. No offense. Don't come kill me, Killer Clown. But Infected Ground Zero was their new experience this year, or at least a redone experience, and this was also an interactive event.
Yes. I like this one too, because as soon as we first started through the haunt, the lady comes out and just grabs me by the arm and pulls me in, and she takes me to the back and sits me on a table and lies me down on the table and works on my head and takes out the infection and all that stuff.
Yeah, this one, last year when I did the event, I did this house, which was a lot of fun. You could see like the house facade. I was infected
too, Ronnie, because he took out the infection on me. She told me I was infected.
Oh, they didn't take any infection on me, so I don't know. But you can see the house from the outside. This is like probably the biggest facade or prop they have that you can see from the parking lot. It's pretty cool. Just blows fire out every once in a while. A little tower for that. Very, very cool. We did the interactive bit on here, so we both were once again wearing a glow necklace. Highly recommended. Last year when I did the interactive part of this, I was separated from my group, but I was separated in a way that I missed everything. Like I felt like I missed a lot of the key scenes in there. They fixed that this year, so I think we both got roughly the same experience. But when we got separated, I didn't even see you till like the end of the house.
Me neither. Yeah, because as soon as I left and came back out, I was by myself. Yeah. I was completely solo. I didn't see you till I came out.
I was basically by myself through this whole thing too.
But that house that you go through by yourself is terrifying.
Yeah, it's really creepy.
Very creepy when you go by yourself though.
Yeah.
So
it's infected zombies type thing, infection going on. You end up in a couple different like military tents, that kind of thing. They're yelling at you, infected, are you infected, that kind of thing. Very, very cool. Loved it. I know I have other pictures here. There's, you know what? Actually, this right here on the right, you can see that's your hand.
That is me.
Yeah.
You just got to,
barely. All right.
Bumps with me.
So just a couple other scenes, just to kind of give you the ambiance of the house. You're going to see all kinds of dead things and blood and guts and pathogens and soldiers impaled in spears. A lot of
creepy stuff.
Yeah, just a lot of like creepy stuff here. So this house was really good. I would probably say that this was like I'm going to go and say second favorite here. Deadwoods is cool, but after you do it like once, it's, you've seen it. They're still going to get you, but it's really cool. But I really like this. I think the interaction that they added this year really added a lot to it. So I had a lot of fun with this one.
I like that one. Yeah.
I got yelled at the end of this one for having a camera, trying to take pictures. Yeah.
I went through the house and the guy was like, "Oh yeah, join us for dinner." I'm like, "What are you guys having?" Like Steve. Like, oh.
Steve.
Never had
whoever Steve is. Okay. It's delicious. All right, so moving on. We already talked about Deadwoods here, and the last thing that we did was the Cursed Hayride. Not a lot of haunted hayrides available. Well, there probably are some. It's just we haven't really done any this year.
That was the first time I've ever done a hayride in general, and even like a haunted hayride.
Okay.
So I thought that was pretty cool. That was a pretty neat hayride ride.
Yeah, it was fun. You get on a big flatbed, like a huge flatbed that's lined with straw. A ton of people get on there. You know what's funny is I didn't really think anything of it, but we watched Houses October Built 2, which was awesome, and they had like little benches made out of like bales of hay. That would have been cooler to actually sit, you know, because I was like sitting backwards and I was having trouble seeing everything. Unfortunately didn't get a chance to do this last year because of Hurricane Matthew and it was completely rained out, but it was fun. You know, it's a hayride and creepy, you know, Old West things happen to you. It's fun. Lots of fire and explosions.
You had
and
characters coming at you all over the place on the side.
Yeah, it's not the most comfortable thing, but it's still fun. It was really, really fun there. So Cursed Hayride, you got to do it. So get in there. Here. One thing I do want to talk about that I thought was really cool was we're huge fans of the Houses October Built, and 1 and 2. The sequel just came out a couple weeks ago, actually. And they had one of the characters here on the left at Scream-A-Geddon that was wearing like the porcelain character doll here. So I wanted to put a comparison of the doll on the left, the porcelain character, with her. And she was wearing this creepy baby, and she would just run around and scare you. Lots of characters. I got to give Scream-A-Geddon props for running around scaring the crap out of people. It was just pretty creepy because she's really creepy in the movie. So, yeah, it's fun. Yeah, I mean, maybe with Haunted Hayride, we got in the chat right here, we got a friend of the show, Ronnie Fox, talking about it was a little confusing. I know the background, I know the storyline of the Haunted Hayride, but it's just, I don't know, it's not as coherent as I think it could be, but it's still fun to look at. It's just one of those things where you can't overthink it. You just got to show up and have fun. With that, it is. I think people do freak out on that, though. I think watching people get scared on the hayride was pretty fun. Yeah.
People watching is very essential at the haunted attractions. It's hilarious.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna go on to the next picture and do our first Scream-A-Geddon ticket giveaway. What? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Tickets for Scream-A-Geddon, family 4-pack. Thank you to Scream-A-Geddon for giving these to us to give away. Here is the caveat on this. Scream-A-Geddon passes, general passes to get into Scream-A-Geddon. But it says, read that right there, not valid.
October 14th, which is already passed, 21st, which is the Saturday, and the 28th.
Which is the following Saturday. So these passes do have blackouts on them. So if you win these, you need to physically get these from us somehow, okay? We need to get these to you. Now, Scream-A-Geddon does have another couple weekends. It's got 3 weekends left, so I could mail these to you. Don't be weird about it. But we're going to do a keyword here, and you can win these passes. I think it would be best if we could meet up at like Horror Nights or something like that or somewhere out. But we will mail these to you, okay? I'm not responsible for that. So
you have to be here in Florida, not in Alaska.
Yeah, you can't be in Alaska. We're not sending these to London, you know. So 4-pack of Scream-A-Geddon tickets, general admission, not good on Saturdays, at least the next 2 Saturdays. We're going to do a keyword here. What keyword should we do?
Ooh.
You do one and I'll do one. What is it?
Chainsaw.
Chainsaw. All right.
Chainsaw is the first one.
Chainsaw. The first person to put in the word chainsaw in our chat is going to win the 4-pack, the first 4-pack of tickets to Scream-A-Geddon.
And you can think of the second one.
I will do the second one because we're going to do that one after Vault of Souls. And it's going to be on my screen. So if it's lagging on your screen and it doesn't look like it is. All right. So Crazed Hunter 24. There you are. Crazed Haunter 24. I don't know who you are, but hopefully you're local. We can get these tickets to you promptly. So you have won a 4-pack of tickets.
Ron, can I get them from Joey Fatone?
No, you cannot get them from Joey.
Oh,
what is that? Oh, you know when I ran into Joey Fatone at Spooky Empire, and I took a picture with him.
When?
Yeah. Not the last one, but the one before that. The one, yeah.
Are you serious? You
I
never
did.
told me this.
What? I'm Johnny Pronto. I'm the haunt ginger. Come on, man.
You never told me you ran into.
Oh, hey, Melissa. How are you doing? Hey, how's your sandwich? Oh, by the way, I met Joey Fatone.
It's Joey. I love Joey Fatone.
Yeah. All right. So awesome. Perfect. So, Craze Haunter 24. Tweet us, email us, HauntScene@gmail.com, send a message to us on Facebook, and we will figure out how to get these tickets to you, these general admission passes, and let us know how it goes, because I know you'll have a good time. Just make sure you do the interactive stuff. All right, so awesome. All right, so let's move on to our third thing that we're talking about, which is going to be this episode. What are we talking about next?
Vault of Souls.
The Vault of Souls. The Vault of Souls.
That was a really cool experience.
So the Vault of Souls is in Tampa. It's at The Vault. Really easy to find. It's like 611 North Franklin. Oh, you know what it is? I linked that. That's what it is. Now I'm seeing what's going on. I linked that stupid thing. That's what's going on.
What do you mean?
Give me 1 second. And the software, if I make it like a text box here, it links it to another scene. So if I change the text, it changes it in the other ones too. So sorry about that. Let me fix that real quick.
Doesn't automatically change?
Not anymore. I just unlinked it. So I've learned a lesson for next time. Okay. All right. So 611 North Franklin Street, Tampa, 33602. This is something that I was able to experience last year. I went by myself. The sticker shock was, I think, something that kept people away from doing the Vault of Souls the previous 2 years, because the passes were like $100 a person. But you got like hors d'oeuvres, and you got like appetizers and all kinds of stuff, in a psychic tarot reading and all kinds of things. This year it's a lot more streamlined. There are pros and cons, I guess, to both sides of it. It's $50 this year, and you pick one of 4 experiences, which we'll talk about in a moment. Now, this is not something where you show up in a t-shirt and jeans. Probably shouldn't show up in flip-flops. Some people were there in like...
Some people were there. Some people were savages.
We were overdressed, and you know,
which was good though. But we looked good.
We looked really good. Yeah,
we looked really good.
I was actually wearing the same thing I wore last year, and then this girl's wearing a dress. I've never seen her in a dress before, so this was pretty cool. So this is the Vault of Souls. Now it's different this year. It's a lot cheaper. It's like half of what it was last year. Think escape room. They call it a release room. You're actually there to solve a bunch of puzzles in the Vault of Souls in the basement to go in and release one of the spirits. And there's 4 characters to pick from. There's the Dominatrix, which is what we did, because I had a lot of great time interacting with her last year. There's the guard, there's the child, and then there's the doctor. So each of them has a room down in the basement of the Vault of Souls where you will go in and solve puzzles to release their spirit. Now, this is in 3 parts this year. Last year was in 4 parts, but one of the parts that was there was the gin joint, which is now actually its own bar. So that's not part of the Vault of Souls experience anymore. I had a lot of fun. Last year I was there for 4 hours, but last year I think one of my, I wouldn't say issues, but one thing that kind of I struggled with last year was it being so open-ended. Like I have that like type A personality or type B or whatever, where you have to win. And last year, I had a good time. I had a really, really good time, but this one kept me up at night. Like the Vault of Souls literally kept me up at night for probably about another 6 months. I was thinking about it. I was thinking about certain rooms, what I could have done differently or whatever, and it stuck with me. And I had to, thankfully Scott Swinson had lunch with me, and he kind of, helped me figure that out, which was really, really cool of him. If you look at the bottom left here, there's a picture that we took with Scott, who does the Vault of Souls, who was a character that night called Steven. He had a great southern accent. He cleansed our auras. Mm-hmm. So that was really cool, of him. So we showed up dapper AF. So we were looking good here. 2 weekends left on the Vault of Souls, this weekend and next weekend, and then that is it for this season. So it's really cool. Love the way the building is illuminated. Very, 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 very cool. Love the blue hue to everything. So what did you think when we first valeted and parked? What did you think?
I thought it was very fancy looking, but I like the way it looks. I love the blue ambiance, the blue color. So I thought it was going to be very extravagant type haunt. Definitely a haunt that I've never experienced before.
Yeah.
It's definitely different than your average haunt.
Yeah, there's nothing that's going to jump out and scare it.
It's no jump scares, nothing bloody or murderous.
Still a lot of creep, man.
But very creepy.
Yeah.
It's that old time feel to it, that 1920s.
Right.
You know, back in the time feel to it. So.
Now the background of this year's story was people would put their souls, their eternal souls, in the Vault of Souls. It was kind of like a bank for souls, and this is the 94th year, and the souls want to be released because I guess there's a loophole or something like that where if you are in there for 95 years, the soul is trapped in there permanently. So a lot of the souls are trying to get out, and that's what you're there to do this year, is you're there to assist them in releasing the spirit. So apologize if I don't have the exact facts, but that is the gist of it, basically. Yep, so you're there to help release spirits. So we go in, and I got a couple pictures here. Let me skip to one specific picture. Actually, I don't have a picture here. Oh, I forgot to put in the doorman. You go through, you get to talk.
Really creepy.
Yeah, you get to interact with this very lurch-like doorman who's going to give you very quick answers. Very, very dry when he talks. Very, very cool. We go in and we check in. Our time slot was at 10:15. We got there, I think, around 9-ish. We actually went out into Chamber of Terror again. We're going to talk about that in a bit. But we showed up earlier because I just wanted to hang out, which is one thing I didn't get a chance to do last year. I met Scott, I met Carolyn Wilson, like I said last year, and then it was like I was called almost immediately, so I didn't get a chance to hang out. So we actually hung out for the better part of like 2 hours actually before we went in and did our experience there. So I'm going to put in some pictures here. Take a look. You're going to meet all kinds of characters. You can tell who they are, that they're part of the show.
They're very period.
Yeah, because they're period appropriate. Yep. All of them are super nice, lovely to interact with. One thing I did notice is they do talk to each other. So if you talk to one and they learn something about you, they may pass that along to somebody else. And we actually experienced that. So good job on that. That was really cool to see.
The guy with the fire.
Which I have a picture of.
We talked to these two, and then these two talked to him.
Yes.
So he came over to us.
Yes, and there's all kinds of stuff here. There's somebody playing the cello. There's a ballerina. There's ballroom dancers. There's this awesome clown that's funny to interact with. It was really, really cool.
Awesome. He was so great.
So these guys were great. Loved them. We were sitting on one of the couches, and those two came up to us and started to talk to us, learn more about like what we do, whatever we told them with HauntScene, talked a little bit about the show, and they actually brought this gentleman over, let him know, and he came up and he interacted with us, and this guy was awesome.
This guy was great.
I don't remember his name. Really, I apologize because I'm horrible with names. But we saw him in a window, like there's like this balcony that you can see in this big, huge room. I probably didn't take enough pictures to do it justice, but we saw this guy in like a window, and he would open up a book, and this like gout of flame would come out of it. So I actually got a picture of that right here. And this guy's really big into like sleight of hand, and like he's like a magician. Very, very cool. And if you look on the bottom right-hand side, or the right-hand side here, this is Melissa's hand with a little X in it. So you want to tell him what happened?
So we were talking to him, and he was telling us about getting in contact with Lucy, which is the ghost that lives downstairs in the basement.
It's like the main character of the Vault of Souls.
The main character of the Vault of Souls. And he showed us this really creepy picture. She looked really creepy. And he told us that he was going to do this thing where he was going to get us in contact with Lucy. So when we go down there, we can show this to her and we can connect with her. So he drew a small X on his hand with a permanent marker on his hand, and he put our hands out, and we basically turned them over. So ours was in a fist, mine was in a fist, and his was in a fist. And we put it in front of him, and he took his hand with the little X and waved it in front of ours, and he never touched us.
He never touched us at all.
Never touched us at all, never touched our palms or anything. Waved his hand over ours, and then all of a sudden he opens his hand and the X is gone. And he picked one of us for us to have the X.
Yeah, the one that had more of a connection to Lucy.
More of a connection to Lucy.
Of course
So I turned over, and there is a brand new X and a permanent marker on the palm of my hand. Just right, it literally just right there.
It's so weird.
And it astonished me because I had no clue how he did. I mean, this was unbelievable.
Yeah,
I still don't know how he did this.
We got hypnotized or something.
So, it was an X mark, impermanent marker, because I washed it off the other day. It was impermanent marker, and he never touched our hands. So
good job.
Good job to you, sir, for doing that, because that was amazing. And then when we went down in the basement, I actually saw Lucy, and I mentioned it to her, and I showed it to her, and she really liked it. So I thought that was really cool. That was a really cool interaction. It amazed me. I was shocked. I was absolutely shocked. You have to see it for yourself in person.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. So
I love Vault of Souls.
I know all of magic is an illusion, but this was absolutely astonishing. Like, it blew me away. So it was really good. Yeah.
It was really good.
So
they do have little things to snack on, like this little crunchy rye bread and cheese wheels and stuff. Not the hors d'oeuvres from last year, but still very good.
Pretty much all they had. Just had the cheese.
Yeah, that's right.
Crackers.
So it was good. They had a bar. I think I've got the picture of the.
They had drinks. You could buy
bar.
drinks, soda, things like that.
Yep. So that was really cool.
You could wander up. Did you have to put those pictures?
I did have to put those pictures. It's very important.
Johnny.
All right. So we went upstairs at some point and we kind of skipped which you can go freely this year. Last year was more linear, where you started in the arrival, you went to the basement, then you did the gin joint, and then you did the last part, the cleansing or whatever it's called. And we skipped ahead to go upstairs to kind of just wander around here. Our time slot was at 2:15. From our understanding, the Dominatrix, the one that we were doing, was, which sounds weird, we're doing the Dominatrix, sounds weird. But apparently that one was the most popular, obviously Dominatrix. So that was running a little bit behind, so anticipate that, because remember, with escape rooms, it is as quick or as slow as you get through them. So, I think we fell a little bit victim to that, but we'll get to that in a moment. So we did meet the Dominatrix early. Now, I had to pick this one. If you guys watched the show last year, I had an awesome interaction with the Dominatrix. This year, you could talk. There's no masks, none of that stuff this year. They only take you into the one part of the basement where your experiences, which was, I will admit, a little bit of a bummer, because I kind of wanted to wander around the basement a little bit more. But we met the Dominatrix, who promptly spanked both of us with a riding crop. So that was fun. Yeah. So you get that little extra, that real interaction. So that was really cool there. She's amazing.
You picked on me first because I threw you under the bus.
Yeah, this is true. Yep, she got spanked first. Right. Here are the other characters, the other experiences that you can pick: the child, the doctor, the guard. The Dr. Truth, is super creepy and really intense. Very creepy and intense. Creepy. Like stay away from me, dude. He was very intense last year in the basement. So you could pick these. I didn't get a chance to read through the storylines, because once I saw Dominatrix, I was like, Dominatrix. So that was really cool. Diana. So that was awesome. She was great.
Thank you, Diana.
Yes, thank you. So before we get there, let's talk about the release room itself. So we get called at 10:45-ish. It was a little bit late, and we get our group, and it was a group of about 8 of us ish, and they give us a little orientation. They talk about what we're going to be doing. We're there to figure out puzzles to release a spirit, and then they assign us a teller, who's like the actor you're going to interact with, who channels the spirit of the person you're trying to release, which was really cool, actually, in retrospect. I didn't really think about it when it was happening, but he did a really good job. When he was role playing the Dominatrix, he was really good, because he was like a normal dude, and he'd be talking about you, talking to you, whatever, and all of a sudden he'd be like, "Honey," he was totally in Dominatrix mode, man. It was great. And how long would you say we were in the escape room part of it?
I want to say 20 minutes.
Yeah, it was about 20 minutes.
About 20 minutes.
I think they give you 30 minutes to complete it. That's your window to complete it. but we had a pretty spot on and sober group.
We were pretty quick with it.
So
he did help us out.
Yeah.
Too, so
yeah. Well, I mean, that's kind of, I think their thing is to kind of, when we hit a wall, he was there to help us a little bit through it.
Yeah.
I love that. I love the fact that we were able to solve the puzzles and release the spirit, because that actually makes me feel like I have now completed the Vault of Souls. So I've slept much better after this. Very, very cool. Loved it. And then it was 20 minutes. We were in the dominatrix's room, and there's all kinds of this weird, sex toy stuff, and we had to put her paddles in a certain order and find stuff and find keys and hidden locks and all this stuff. And I don't want to spoil it for you, but we were successful. She punches the microphone off the screen. All right. So I think it was worth it. I mean, like I said, I did this last year for $100, and I was there for 4 hours. I got to meet a lot of people that were involved in the event last year, so I feel like I got my money's worth last year. But for $50, I got to say this is a pretty good deal. We're probably going to start getting into more like escape room stuff, because that's what we want to do in the off season, do like some horror themed escape rooms. But this was really cool. This is basically my second escape room ever. I hate to call it an escape room. It's a release room, but it has escape room elements to it. It's like a theatrical escape. I mean, I did the repository last year at Horror Nights, so I would consider that an escape room. But she was great. Everybody was great. All the actors were great. Top notch. Awesome. Good job. Loved it. Vault of Souls. Keep in mind, remember, guys, you only got 2 weekends left. I would definitely get this in. Just make sure you dress appropriately. Don't be a scrub when you go do the Vault of Souls. All right, so we're going to move on here to, yes, it is artsy. It's an artsy escape room. Yeah. All right, so here's the characters here. This was the best picture I could get of the child because he was moving around so much. I had my camera, and he's like, let me take a picture of you. Like, there's a camera in there? There's a camera in there? And he was like moving around, and I took probably 10 pictures of him. This is the only one that's slightly less blurry. Dr. True, super creepy. And then Plutarch, the guard, who was awesome last year when I was trying to figure out what to do in the actual vault. But he's really cool to interact with as well. And I like the fact that there's a little continuity there. I think some of the characters, if they asked you a question and maybe you had gone to the Vault of Souls before, they actually they understood that, and that kind of helped you continue the story a little bit. In the dominatrix's room last year, I got to take my mask off, so I actually got to meet her. I didn't have the beard though, and she was like lovingly stroking my beard, and that was pretty awesome. That was like worth the $50 itself. I was enjoying that, so that was awesome. All right, enough of that. Don't get weird. But that was cool. All right, so let's do our second ticket giveaway. We got 7 minutes left. And this one, how many are there? 3, 4. So this one, we're going to say spanking. The first person to put in the word spanking. Now, if you've already won, you're ineligible. But if you put in the word spanking in the live chat, your first person to type in the word spanking is going to win the 4-pack of tickets to Scream-A-Geddon. That's going to be Misfits Unmanaged. Unfortunately, Miami Dan 35. Oh, a couple people just a little bit late. So Misfits Unmanaged, you are the winner. Thank you guys for trying though. Appreciate you watching. Stay watching because we got a couple other things. Remember, just to reiterate, there are blackouts on these tickets. The 21st and the 28th, you can't go. But any other night is fine. Remember, they are open every other day. And we need to be able to physically get these tickets to you somehow. So text us. Don't text us. Tweet us.
Don't text us.
Yeah, you don't have my number. Facebook message, email HauntScene@gmail.com, and we will figure it out. If you get me your address and I need to mail these to you, I will try to do that at some point tomorrow or the next day. Yep. On my screen, I like I said, this is based on my screen. And the first person to say spanking is Misfits Unmanaged. So you can see it. Are you looking at it?
Yep.
And the first person on the screen is?
Misfits Unmanaged.
All right. So remember, my screen, right? If you guys are watching it, remember this show is buffering, so you may be lagging a little bit, okay? All right, so cool. All right, so 8:55 here. I do want to give a shout out to, as we start to wrap this up, I got to give a shout out to Courtney and Bradley at Chamber of Terror. I did this. This is her second time going, my third time this year. And they really amped it up a little bit. I don't know how he does this, but Courtney managed to stick about 25% more scares in there.
That was, yeah.
It was horrifying. All the effects are working. Everything's running full tilt now with Chamber of Terror. Just make sure you guys put this one on your list. You can do Chamber of Terror, and then you can do Vault of Souls if you want to, because they're really close to one another if you wanted to. So make sure you guys go in and do Chamber of Terror.
Like the first time someone attacked us.
Yeah, we get a little bit of extra attention when you know the people. You're liable to get
hurt. They came after me first, and then they got you.
Yep.
So
yeah. All right. So awesome. Okay. So yeah, Dude Chamber of Terror is really, really cool. 856. Man, this one's blown by really quick.
Yeah.
I thought we were gonna like not have enough time. All right, so yes, definitely put out Chamber of Terror. Just remember, guys, there's all kinds of independent haunts to do. Some of these only have like another 2 weekends or 3 weekends. Do not wait. If you wait, you're gonna miss this stuff. Go out and do the Shallow Grave. Remember, Shallow Grave's done after the season. Go out and do Sir Henry's. Go out and do.
It's definitely worth it. They're all great.
Do Ominous Descent, Chamber of Terror, Scream-A-Gedden. Go out and do all this stuff. Yeah, there's all kinds of things to do. Now, next week on the show, we've got a couple things lined up. We're going to do Petrified Forest. We're going to go out and do that in Altamont Springs. We're going to do Never Ending Nightmare, and we're going to do that in Ocoee. And we're going to do Buckingham Terror. That's in Lakeland. I'm actually going to their Media Wine and Screams event on Thursday. Looking forward to that. That's a brand new one on me. And we're talking also about going to Enigma Haunt on Saturday. So still kind of tossing around a little bit, working on our exact plan. Don't want to go too crazy. Want to make sure that we still have stuff to talk about throughout the whole season. Remember, our show runs through the first week of November, so we don't want to go too crazy. But man, we're just going nuts. We've done so much this year. So hopefully, you guys are enjoying the show. I love presenting to you guys every year. I love that Melissa's helping me out with this. This is amazing. Love giving tickets away.
I love doing this too. It's a lot of fun, and I love meeting. I love meeting new people.
Yay. Not gonna cry. All right,
no
more crying.
Don't cry again.
All right. So yeah, make sure you guys do all the independent haunts. That's the point of the show, to get you guys out doing stuff. Get out of the conga lines. Go do real haunts. But we're gonna start wrapping this up here. So if you guys have any questions or anything, put them in the chat. If I could see it here. Ask Dominatrix for Johnny number. She was cool, man. I'd like to hang out with her. She's also friends with Sylvia from Petrified Forest.
She was really cool. She was talking to us really cool to talk to. She was awesome.
Yeah. So Scott, thank you for everything. Got to see Carolyn Wilson again. I forget the other gentleman that we met. I'm horrible with names.
I met so many people.
Yeah, it's too hard to keep them straight. So here's what we're definitely doing next week, and like I said, we're still trying to arrange going out to Enigma. There's also one that like the Fright Nights at the South Florida Fairgrounds that we might get in there. I don't know, man. We're just gonna go nuts and do all this stuff.
You're welcome, Misfits Unmanaged.
All right, so reach out to us here. It is 8:58, so we're gonna go ahead and start wrapping this up. So thank you guys for watching.
Thanks again, everyone.
Evil Dead musical was awesome. Scream-A-Gedden was awesome. Vault of Souls was awesome. Having a lot of fun this haunt season. So
thank you for everyone in the chat. I was nice meeting Ronnie in person. Actually, I met him at Scream-A-Gedden. And of course, Team Jurassic Shark. It was nice to meet you guys.
You guys are going on the 28th. Maybe we should go on the 28th.
We should go on the 28th with Jurassic Shark.
All right. Then never mind. We're not doing Enigma this weekend.
We'll go with Jurassic Shark and go with them.
Yeah, we'd love to go with you guys. That'd be fun.
They were so much fun to meet up with.
Yeah,
you guys were awesome.
Yeah, you guys are awesome. So. All right, it is 8:59, so we're going to go ahead and shut this thing down. But thank you guys for watching as always. If you guys have any questions, just make sure you email us at hauntscene@gmail.com. Hit us up on Facebook, social media, Twitter, Facebook, MySpace, Instagram, Tumblr, Snapchat, Christian Mingle,
AOL,
OkCupid,
MSN,
Netscape, Pinterest,
MySpace, Tricycle Monthly.
Yeah, tricycle.org. So yeah, we're all over the place. Make sure you guys follow us on the various social medias. But let's go ahead and shut it down. So HauntScene saves you money. Oh, by the way, with Chamber of Terror, remember the promo code HauntScene still gets you $5 off. So make sure you use that. Hopefully, and make sure you guys do Chamber of Terror. Support local haunts. Make sure you guys go out and support these local businesses, and we appreciate you. So it's 9 o'clock on the dot. So we're gonna go ahead and roll credits. So until next week, spook easy.
Happy haunting. Have a good night, guys. Bye.
Bye.